Parental advisory. There is adult language in this podcast episode. Watch at your own discretion.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. So I guess we can cue it to here. There
Yes.
you go.
Yep.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to F is for Friends.
Yeah.
We haven't been struggling with anything before the video started.
Yeah. Well, sorry, dude, to keep you waiting, too. I didn't mean to, it's 1 p.m. I should have my ass up, and I'm not. But...
That's all right, man. Do you mind if I make a drink? I didn't done that yet.
Oh, I just got myself coffee. I don't have any alcohol in my house right now, actually.
That's cool. I'll be right here.
Sweet. Yeah.
So today I'm going to teach you how to make an a la Louisiana.
Okay. What alcohol goes in this? A couple different types?
You're going to want 1.5 ounces of rye, not bourbon, rye. And then 3/4 of sweet vermouth.
Mm-hmm. On the rocks, I would assume.
You can do it up or on the rocks. This one, it's just easier to do it on a rock. To fucking strain it.
Yeah.
And you're going to use 3/4 of Benedictine, which is a French liqueur made with 27 herbs and spices.
Wow.
It's super good.
Yeah.
And then 3 dashes of Peychaud bitters. There goes the tap. And then for the fun part, we're going to grab our absinthe. And then we're going to do, it calls for a dash of absinthe, but I just use a bar spoon and kind of guesstimate.
Sure.
And put that in there. And then BRIB. All right, now we can get this started. So I'm just gonna stir this. So yeah, you haven't really had much of a day so far.
No, not at all. I had a bit of a night though.
Yeah.
I was conversing with a match off of Tinder. I've been talking to her for a couple weeks now, and we're conversing over Snapchat and texting, which is a lot of fun. And then,
I have a love-hate relationship with Tinder.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This is the first time I've probably re-downloaded Tinder, probably like 15 times, 15 plus. Because it never, that's the thing, is what I've been looking for off of that app this whole time is what I've just found. I think maybe not.
I just I don't have Snapchat. I had it for about 2 weeks and I fucking hated it. So
really,
yeah, I fucking hated it. It was such a annoying distraction, and I don't know. I just wasn't for me.
Wow.
I think this drink is going to hit me really hard because I haven't had a drink in a very long time.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe. I mean, it wouldn't be the case for me with all that alcohol and being in quarantine. I would be.
This bar is for guests or when I'm trying to work on something, like I'm trying to work on a drink for work. But I never drink my own booze. This is an exception though.
Wow.
I'm talking
Good rule to have.
Yeah, I only drink when I go out, man. So during this quarantine, I haven't really been drinking much at all. I've made a few, like I've been living at my siblings for most of this time because, I live alone.
Yeah.
And I can't be by myself for how long has it been since the stay-at-home order has been in effect, but
months.
yeah, so that'd be fucking crazy if I stayed in this apartment for months by myself. So I've been living in Hamtramck, which is a neighboring town to Detroit, and it's a really nice town. Um, it's got a weird. There's a lot of Arabs and a lot of Polacks. So yeah, it's really bizarre. There's just a lot of cultures infused there, and you can even hear, I'm having a brain fart, but the prayers are announced. The Muslim prayers are being announced all over the town. And then my siblings live next to a Catholic cathedral, so you're getting these you're getting these church bells, and then sometimes it coincides with the Muslim prayers being announced.
Sure.
So it's like, they're
Wow.
so yeah, it's interesting.
I can't say that I've ever been that close to, like, even my time in Brazil or anything. I can't say that I've been close to, like, Muslim at all. I really don't have many interactions with people of that culture, and I don't know that I could place it exactly where that's from, or maybe I wouldn't want to admit to. I'm not sure, but that's really interesting.
Yeah,
The biggest experience I have with other cultures would be Brazil. But what's yours? Because somebody who's been in Michigan his whole life has to experience what comes to him. So has it been something? Okay, so you grew up Catholic, right?
yeah, I am no longer practicing, but I did grow up Catholic.
I stepped into cathedral, if you want to call it that, with you in Ann Arbor.
Oh yeah, dude, that was so cool.
Yeah.
Why the fuck did you do that?
Walking around downtown.
Yeah, I remember that now, and yeah, that was. Yeah, I remember that. Beautiful. I guess you came to Ann Arbor twice during your time in Grand Rapids.
I did. Yes, I did.
I remember how spontaneous that was.
Both times.
Man, that was like the first year. I was living in the that shitty studio. Well, actually, it wasn't that shitty, but it was just really fucking small. Yeah, I remember calling you. I was like literally about to fucking leave, and I was like, "Hey, Collin, hey, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Come to Ann Arbor." So
both times, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." Because each
like you can spend $50.
Yeah, I know.
$50 top. You know?
Yeah, both times had their own theme to it. One was to kind of experience where you personally grew up, and then the other one was more to experience yourself.
The other one was short.
Yeah.
The other one was you weren't there for very long, and my parents were home at the time. The second time they were not home, but yeah. That's right. So yeah, you're still working during all this quarantine stuff. That's cool.
Yeah, I got called back April 27th, and only within the past couple of days have I heard that I can work, and if I don't meet 40 hours, I can claim which hours I missed. Say I work 35, I can claim for 5 hours on unemployment and still get that grant.
You really do that?
Mm-hmm. So I can work and get unemployment at the same time. So I'm like, dude, let's do it. Yeah.
It took a very long time for my unemployment to kick in. This is I don't know. This summer is a bummer. Yeah, that's for sure. All the weddings I had, which was well over 30, are canceled.
What?
Well, not canceled. They're not canceled, but they're postponed. Some of them indefinitely, some of them until next year. But there's all this talk now that the coronavirus is going to have a second wave hitting us in either the fall or winter. Um, so there have been a lot of weddings. I had 7 weddings alone this month that have either been postponed till next year or in the fall. But I really don't think I'm gonna get a single wedding this year. It doesn't seem likely.
I'm so
So
sorry.
yeah, it's a really I don't. Yeah, I mean it sucks. It was going to be a very lucrative summer, that's for sure, but not anymore. Um, but unemployment has been nice. Obviously, like I'm still. It finally kicked in, so I'm doing fine.
Good.
But I don't know. Just I'd rather be working, obviously. And
Sure.
one thing this has taught me is how to properly go grocery shopping. Because with my, I have a very outgoing lifestyle, and I eat out a lot. Not fast food, but I'll eat a lot of Chipotle or something. But or I eat a lot at work because I work at a restaurant. So maybe 4 times of the week I'm eating food at my bar,
Sure.
which is pretty good food. You can actually, there's a lot of good healthy choices
Oh,
there.
good.
Yeah, I mean, what I usually get is like they have just like chicken and like salad. I usually just get that or something. But
I've been doing salads at my work.
yeah,
too.
What's that?
I've been doing salads at my work too.
I work at a pizza place. It's wood-fired Italian pizzas. So yeah, it's ruined pizza for me because I'm around it all the time and I don't want it anymore. Like, even when I have one of those drunken nights and pizza just sounds so good, I don't even order it anymore. I go into my fridge and I just start eating broccoli.
Yeah, dude.
Sometimes I do actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot for this bar that I work at. It was, I don't know, it was kind of a mess. Uh, I work with a friend of mine, and you've met him, Bobby. He looks like Cameron,
Yeah.
without the beard, pretty much.
Blonde, right? More
Just
blonde.
with what's that?
More blonde. He would be more blonde too.
Yeah. But I work with him. We bartend together, and we've been kind of stepping up the game on the cocktails. It's a really fucked up bar because there's 40 beers on tap, which I fucking despise. Fucking hate beer. I don't drink it anymore.
Wow.
And I mean, I don't hate beer itself. I just hate drinking beer. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like beer is just not for me. Like I don't understand how people they get like the fucking like 24-ounce glass of beer, and I don't get that, man. Like how do you? It's so much liquid. Like I can't even handle. I can't really handle beer anymore. Like people with the big fucking glass of the one flavor that just gets shittier as you drink it. Like I don't get it, man. But the bar that I work at, yeah, there's 40 beers on tap, and they own a brewery, which is shitty for them because it's actually really expensive to sell your own beer. And when it's happy hour, the beer that they do make themselves is like $3 for a pint. And oh, dude, happy hour is just the fucking worst. People are just always coming in there like, I want this, this, this. I'm ready to order. You know what I mean? Like, can we just have they just sit down and like, I know what I want. Oh, really? Well, let me get you a fucking water, all right? And you're gonna sit there and you're gonna just relax because I have other guests who have been sitting here longer than you. It's not my kind of bar, but I'm doing what I can for the cocktail program.
Sure.
Because there's 6 shelves of all this fucking great booze that the previous bartenders don't know anything about and don't know how to sell it, but I do. and Bobby does.
Sure.
So yeah, it's been kind of a challenge, but I'm getting sick of it, and I want to go somewhere that has shit figured out in terms of technique and craft and making in-house syrups and juicing fresh citrus every morning.
It's like
because when I started working at Beagle, go ahead.
That's like high dining, but for like drinks. Like I can understand where you're coming from and just wanting it to be a fleshed out experience. Coming down and just kind of experimenting or exploring. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Over the years, cocktails have become a huge passion of mine. And it makes sense because it's an art form. Everything from the technique down to the presentation of the drink, it's all art. So I don't know. It's really random, but it also at the same time, it makes sense that I got into it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But
because you used to be like a total beer connoisseur. I knew you for that, especially in college.
Yeah, I was.
You would take me out
Yeah.
specifically to try beers.
Yeah. Because I was working at Slows and they had 40 beers on tap. So they would never sell. I was never making cocktails. You know, if someone was going to get something with liquor, it'd be a, Jack and Coke or something, which isn't a cocktail. I just call that an emergency. So yeah, I got really into beer because of that. But then actually, I can thank Bob Dillsworth for getting me into the cocktail game because he was working at the Black Heron or the Blue Heron or something. But that closed. It closed as me and Dylan were working on an advertisement for the restaurant, and then they closed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that restaurant had a great cocktail program. Bob would serve me these drinks. I had no idea what the fuck I was drinking, and I was like, "Dude, what's all this like frothy shit in my drink?" He's like, "Oh, that's egg white." What the fuck are you talking about? There's egg in my drink, like that. Just didn't make any sense to me at the time.
And then you started like anytime that we would hang out, which because you moved, that became few and far between, and you would always have some new cocktail to bring and make and stuff. And
yeah,
they were always great. Bee's Knees was I think one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, the Bee's Knees, and I was obsessed with that drink. I made that. Oh yeah, Kiowa's. I made the Bee's Knees for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that drink is. If anyone tells me that they don't like gin, I don't believe them. You just haven't had it right, man. Gin is like the best spirit for cocktails, like hands down. And the Bee's Knees is a simple 3-ingredient drink that like there's no way you can still say I hate gin after you've had that drink.
Sure. Yeah. So, man, I'm so sorry about the film stuff, the wedding, because I know that you are not the only wedding videographer in this situation right now, or even person getting married. Like that sucks for them too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough for any kind of vendor right now because even people who have like photo booths or whatever, I mean, their income is very fickle, and it's way more fickle now. It also sucks because I finally got started on a film with my brother and Connor, who you haven't met, I believe.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay. So we
Shout
start
out
on
to
a
your brother.
film. I dropped two. What's that?
Shout out to your brother, by the way, Patrick. That
Oh,
dude
thank you.
needs a big
Yeah,
shout out. Yeah, man.
yeah. Thanks, man. You know, he dropped his EP. You should listen to it.
I will, dude. He
Yeah, it's
scored.
just go under his. Yeah,
He scored our film, Trip,
yeah,
and that was
yeah.
my
He did.
first exposure to what that guy can do. And I'm gonna throw Trip in the bio because I would love to open up a conversation about that. So I didn't mean to interrupt, but
Cool.
whatever you were saying about your film with your
No, you're
brother
good.
and Connor, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So it's we're working on a film, and it was something I wanted to do with absolutely no crew. I didn't want to deal with the film crew. I don't want a guy because the it's in an open environment. We're not shooting in controlled environments, so we're literally just going around anywhere where there's a big crowd of people and we're shooting there. I could go deeper into the context of the film, but I don't feel like it, and you'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah.
What how it comes out. But yeah, it sucks because of this whole quarantine thing. No one's out, and I can't be around people unless I go to a grocery store. Uh, so it just sucks. We have to wait till life is back in motion before we can start shooting this film again. But yeah, I dropped $2,000 on new lenses and very specific sound equipment. I got this dual lav mic recording system. Excuse me. That was so awesome to use. Just there was one receiver, and Patrick and Connor can fucking go 500 feet away from me. I can pick up their audio, and it's omnidirectional, so I can pick up everyone else's audio.
Wow.
So after it's fucking perfect, but we had to do a lot of test shoots before we actually shoot the real thing because that audio can be really sensitive. And obviously I have to hide the mic, so I had to find all these like techniques to try and like, you know, tape it to their chest. And my brother had to shave. He has a lot of, he's Italian. He had to shave his chest hair because sometimes that would interfere with the mic.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, it just sucks, man. I was really excited to start something creative, like actually creative, and I don't know. Yeah, this summer is going to be interesting for me because I don't know when bars are going to open up again, and there's no weddings. So yeah, we will see.
That's why I'm needing to get creative with still making content, but doing it at home. I can't go into the studio and make videos right now of any genre. That's
Yeah, that clip you uploaded of I think you were yelling Chuck.
yeah.
Remove your jacket.
Yeah.
That was really funny, man.
Thanks.
I like. Yeah, you guys. Well, what worked about it so much is that no one seemed aware that they were on camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I feel like you sense that a lot with well, every student film ever made. You get the sense that people are on fucking camera, like they're just like, oh, this is a movie, But no, I didn't get that feeling, and especially that girl who sat next to you, who was just like pointing at the mic. She was like she looked totally oblivious to what was going on, which really added to the atmosphere. I mean, it was a really simple bit, but the pacing and there wasn't any overacting. You know what I mean? So it was really funny. It was really good, and I liked how he didn't want to take off his jacket, and that
Yeah,
random dude who just like nonchalantly just walks up there, and he's like, hey, there's some elements there that it really worked. So
definitely.
congrats.
Thanks, Sue. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Cheers. If you watch it back, she, I love the first thing that she does when I yell Chuck. You see her go like that and like startle, but it's hard to pull off an actual startle, acting wise. It's
Mhm.
never really genuine.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
in the movie
yeah.
Strangers, The Strangers, which is one of my favorite horror films, the director would not tell the actress when he was going to pound because it generated a genuine physical scare in her, and you can see her
Yeah.
body, you can see in her neck and collarbone, she really does jump.
Oh, I didn't look that closely, but cool.
I love. I watched that just over and over, just paying attention specifically to her jumping because she knows that I'm gonna yell Chuck, obviously. And then I also watched that
Yeah, right.
for many other reasons other than that
Yeah.
you listed. It was. I think I'm gonna grab some other parts of that moment that there was so much ADR that we had to use in it, and it's horrible in some parts. But I think I want to grab clips that do work and throw them on because that was 5 years ago that we made that. But an incredible
That was
time.
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Whoa, really?
This
Wow.
September,
5 years ago.
this coming September, we started school 6 years ago.
Whoa, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Wow, 5 years ago. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm glad I rediscovered your YouTube channel because of this podcast, because I didn't know you had that. It was an odd name. I don't know what the name was exactly, but it was to the Neon Demon soundtrack.
Yes.
Riley wore a mask.
Yeah.
What did you call that again? It
It's
sounded like something in Spanish.
Baila
What's
conmigo.
that?
Baila conmigo.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. Man, as great as I thought Trip was, I think that was like one of probably the best thing that I worked on at Compass. I don't know. Despite some of the choppy editing, I think I don't know, man. There was something kind of perfect about that project we did.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. That was really awesome. I just thought the use of music and the complete visual storytelling we did a good job on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie. That and Trip.
Yeah, man.
And they both
Yeah,
have
definitely.
very interesting backstories. I remember working on Trip with you and just like screwing in red light bulbs just to see if things would, and we usually involve some sort of smoking of the weed and music to kind of inspire.
The whole room was just vaping
Yeah.
to get a cool effect going. That was funny.
I remember that.
Yeah, man. Trip will always have a very. I always get a very big nostalgic feeling watching that now. Especially, I mean, my favorite sequence is when the drug dealer is just walking through all those locations. That's by far my favorite scene.
Same.
Same. There is something so simplistic about it that really affected me. But also my brother's score. I probably sound so like self-indulgent right now, but that's how I feel. Man, I don't know. Grand Rapids becoming a very, very distant memory for me now. Um, it's kind of almost hard to believe that I did live there for almost 5 years. You know, like, how do you feel about it?
It's not. It's not a distant memory for me yet. Um,
Hmm.
I think that I've been giving it some time because I think it's hard to drop something and then like halfway pick it back up with like moving here and then constantly being in contact with people. Not that I want to drop contact. I just think that it's an open wound, and um, I feel like I have to
Hmm.
let my heart heal a little bit from moving back because it was a big deal. It was a really big deal. My end in Michigan
Yeah, yeah.
was
Um, I think during your last, I don't know how to put it. I don't know. I guess during your last, I'll just say year, uh, being in Michigan, I think you were struggling really hard to make it work. And it just, you just decided one day that it was just time to, you know, throw in the towel.
and then I moved back here and everything that I was trying to find in Michigan found me. You know what I'm saying?
You know, yeah, I relate to you. I didn't really go that far. I only drove 2 hours, but
Yeah.
I think I feel nostalgic about Grand Rapids when I think about it, but then again, I also have to remind myself I was kind of fucking miserable when I was there. Like, not for the whole thing, but I think during the last possibly 2 years that I was there, I was like, I didn't have anything going on, man. There was just nothing, there was just no direction for me.
Yeah.
I was still having a good time, obviously I was still having fun. Uh, I just, Grand Rapids became home. Like, I could go anywhere and be recognized. I mean, at least in like the bar industry, you know what I mean? Like, I go anywhere on Bridge Street and I know people. Like, it became home. Like, it became a very small city by the end by those 2 years. Dude, that city became so small.
Oh, wow, dude.
And I don't know. I didn't have control over anything. I felt like, and then I left Grand Rapids in June because I cut my lease early because I had to go, man. There's no way I could spend another summer just sitting on my ass, being a bar back for Butchers Union. I just couldn't do it anymore. And the minute I moved back, because I lived with my parents or with my dad because my mom was in jail. But when I lived at home over the summer, my brother was there too. So it was me, my brother, and my dad at home. And I have to tell you, man, that was probably one of the best summers I've had in such a long time, dude.
Wow.
I, I, was- I was so much like healthier. Like mentally, I was focused. My self-esteem like went up a couple notches. I was going to the gym like twice a day. I was eating right. I wasn't going out. And then, yeah, I don't know. Life made more sense coming back to the Ann Arbor slash Detroit area for me. I'm not really, I don't know how that happens, but it did. Um, I feel like I gained more respect as well because I feel like I wasn't taken very seriously in Grand Rapids. In all honesty, I don't know. So yeah, I guess with all that said, I am pretty behind on the art game. I've kind of neglected, you know, making stuff that's challenging for me, and yeah, I don't know. I hope to get in. I was trying to get back into that, but then the whole COVID happened. So
I would watch. I would watch anything you make. Absolutely.
thank
I would
Thank
be so sad to see you stop, but I don't ever think that you would.
Yeah.
I think that even if it's not going to be specifically film, just with the whole cocktails, and I've even seen you kind of treat beer the same way before too, with just really considering it to be heavy art, high art for you, and a clear passion and in a study for you. It's a study, because you're
Yeah.
so perceptive, and I think your high art also may come from like a spiritual side of you too. I sense kind of just a spiritual person. I'm not talking religion. I'm just talking like.
No, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I get that sense from you.
Yeah.
I remember. I remember. Man, I've never had another Joe Miller in my life, and probably won't ever in the future. I think I've expressed to you this before, but you were really such an eye opener to me with how to handle myself as an adult, because I went to school at 19.
Yeah.
And I remember one, because I was a touchy feely guy. I like to grab and like hug friends and I remember one time you were leaning on like some sort of table, and I don't know what made me do this, but I came over and I think I just like embraced you from behind, and you went, "All right, dude." And I was like, I will never do that again. And that happened several times over the start of our
What?
friendship.
Oh boy, I am a bit of an ass.
No, but I needed it. I
Uh,
swear, like I needed the Band-Aid ripped off, you know?
hmm.
It was, I never did it again, you know? Uh,
Oh god.
yeah.
Oh boy, this drink is getting to me.
Yeah.
I'm not
I
even like I'm not even halfway done, and I'm like, it's actually good that I'm building up my tolerance though,
sure.
because I'm going back to the UP tomorrow.
I hesitate saying this on a recording, but I am currently microdosing on psilocybin.
I don't know what that is,
Oh,
or should I?
mushrooms.
Oh, you are.
Yes, like right
Oh
now.
wow.
Mhm.
So that's what you had for breakfast.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, people that I'm going out to the UP with are all trying to do it. I think I'll pass. I think I've done it like 5 times. I think I'm good. I don't think I need to do it again. I don't know. It's
This
just
is
so intense.
this. I understand what you're saying. This is microdosing. So instead of taking a couple of grams, this is just like a drop.
You're gonna get a little body high or something.
exactly. It's like putting WD-40 on a squeaky door hinge socially. It allows me to kind of just loosen up, and it relieves the body anxiety from my social interactions. That's it's really nice. I can see why it's becoming decriminalized and legalized, especially for veterans, because I don't know if you ever witnessed, like, okay, for example, Jeff Perry. When that dude gets nervous, his body trembles, it shakes, and I think I see the same thing in in a lot of veterans, um, who are his age. Austin Morse at Compass, also, if you would see him nervous, he would always give it away when he would hold a piece of paper because he's doing this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I got you.
And I don't exactly remember what my point was there.
That this calms people down.
This calms people down. It allows for the trembling to stop and not be there.
Yeah.
So I recommend at least trying it in that fashion, because it's not a trip or anything. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Mm-hmm. So what have you been watching recently? Being in quarantine, I would expect Joe to be watching some good content. Maybe not, though.
One of the recent films that I watched was Climax, which
yeah.
Blew my mind. And then what blew my mind even more was how it was made. So yeah, props to Gasper. That guy is a fucking goddamn genius. Dude, like, I mean, did you find out how the movie was made?
I don't think so. I don't know much about the behind the scenes of it.
You haven't seen it, right?
I have seen it. Yes.
Okay.
I've seen
All
Climax.
right, so it was made in 15 days.
Sure.
He filmed it himself, the director, and it was completely unscripted. And the actors were able. I mean, it was a three. It was an open environment. So if an actor wanted, like, if this character wanted to have sex with somebody, that actor could go and pursue that. Like, there was no. There was a limitless freedom of what the actors could do with their character.
Wow.
And then his job was just to keep up with them.
Wow.
That was like the whole premise of the film, because it's based on true events, you know, but it doesn't go to that extreme. Like, yeah, like there was some dancers who did get their sangria spiked with LSD, but that doesn't mean that people fucking get lit on fire and people abort their babies, or, you know what I mean? Like this, so that whole aspect of it was extremely experimental, obviously, and it was amazing. Like, it works, and the music is incredible, the dancing is incredible, the whole film is like a dance. I mean, even with the performances, all the performances have like a certain rhythm to it. And I don't know how well you remember the scene, but when I forgot the actress's name, but she's amazing. When she is like freaking the fuck out by her own, like she's by her lonesome and she's just screaming her fucking head off, and then she looks at like this forest, and then she like calms down for a second, and then she like fucking like flips out again. Like, I just that just must be such an exciting set for an actor to be on, dude. And a very, very challenging one.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
I can imagine. Dude, yeah. I didn't know about the behind the scenes, and I remember watching the movie, but I think knowing all of that information is vital um, for the viewing experience, because I saw it a couple of years ago, but I remember being a little turned off by some of it.
Yeah. Well, it's you have all right. So like the first like half hour or so, you gotta be pretty patient because
Yeah, yeah,
it kind of takes a minute for the beat to get started. I mean, it opens up with that amazing dance sequence,
yeah,
but then there's like 15 minutes of really thirsty dialogue between the characters.
yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
that was it's obviously unscripted and it's really natural, but you're just kind of you're just wondering like why is this happening? Why are we listening to all this like
Right.
this this obscene dialogue? And then as and then the fucking credits pop up, and you're like, what is going on? And then after the credits end, midway through the movie, then the movie fucking starts, like for real.
Oh,
And it gets so fucking insane. You're just like the whole
yeah.
time. You couldn't believe what you were watching. It was so incredible.
I remember
God, that is the kind of I'd love to make.
when it gets into the chaos part, I remember that part kind of just being a blur of like extreme. I don't even remember what happens, honestly. I just remember it being very extreme.
I think you should definitely rewatch it. And
Yeah, I will.
yeah, like the last 15 minutes of it was filmed upside down or some shit. Oh my
What?
god.
Dude, he's one of the most
Yeah, the
interesting
last like 15 minutes of the
filmmakers.
film is upside down.
Wow. Gaspar
Yeah.
Noé makes films that nobody else is making. Correct me if I'm wrong. He also did Irreversible, correct?
I don't know. Um, I think in terms of sexuality, he is not shy. Like, he came out that controversial film Love,
Yeah.
which a lot of people deemed as porn, which is really shallow of them to
Yeah,
say,
I
in my
know.
opinion.
I loved it.
Yeah, that was a great movie.
For all the stuff that
Great
wasn't
fucking
even
movie.
sex or anything.
What's that?
For all the stuff that wasn't even sex or anything. I love the part where
Okay.
he's like
Yeah.
waking up and having to take care of the baby. Or the whole dynamic with him meeting the neighbor chick and like starting that relationship. And then the
Mm-hmm.
where after the threesome that like relationship continues and she gets pregnant and then the other chick is like pissed and she screams at him a couple different times. I thought
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah.
absolutely incredible.
Yeah, man. He's a great director, man. He makes films for no one. That's
Yeah,
what I like about him is that he makes films. He makes films for himself. He doesn't give a fuck about you. He
yeah,
makes what he wants to make. You know what I
totally,
mean?
dude. As it should be.
On a dirt budget.
Right.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of looking forward to. It's a 6-hour drive to where I'm going tomorrow.
Oh,
Like,
six
yeah,
hours, dude. You
yeah,
probably
man. By myself.
have you made
What's that?
so you've already made that 6 hour drive up to the UP and now you gotta go back.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I go every summer. This is
Oh,
this is a place I've been going to since the fourth grade.
okay.
Um, it's in this yeah, it's in this really small town called Nema,
Hmm.
and I was blessed because my best friend Ravi, his family owns 5 really well furbished cabins right on the lake. And yeah, I finally just got the privilege of going up there whenever I want to. And
Wow.
the town has there's an inn, there's the Nama Inn, and there's a bar there. And that's pretty much the only place of business that's in the town. And no one drives a car up there. Everyone drives golf carts. You drive a golf cart to the bar. It's the most fun.
Dude.
Yeah, it's so fun, man. I'm gonna have a lot of fun.
Wow.
But yeah, so I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be nice to get a change of pace. I'm meeting a bunch of people up there. Some people I don't even know. That's cool. Robbie's assured me that they've taken the quarantine seriously, so I'm sure it'll be fine. But I don't know. I get the sense that people are getting really impatient now with the stay-at-home order.
Yeah. Especially with it being like June 30th now.
Yeah, man. Yeah. What?
Yeah.
How long is yours going till? You said June 30th?
Yes, sir.
Your stay-at-home order is till June 30th?
In Oregon, that's what the governor did. Yeah.
Oh, dude. Wow, that's crazy. Ours is just to the end of this month. I mean, at least for now. Like, she keeps like extending it. But our governor is getting so much shit. Oh God. I mean, are you getting those protests? All like with all the rednecks with their machine guns and Nazi flags?
Not like Michigan.
Okay, well, yeah, man, what the fuck? Where is this coming from? Where do these people live? I don't understand it, man. Why? I've never. Where do they just come out of the woods and they just come out with their Nazi flags and Confederate flags and their Trump hats and shit. And I don't understand, like, where are these people? I just can't believe they exist, you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Yeah. Didn't they get arrested or something? I figured I had to know, like.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of doubt it. I doubt that anything happened. I really do.
I wonder if I know anybody in Michigan who like knows one of those guys.
Yeah, like who knows people like that? Yeah. I guess like they must be in a like anyone who has like a fucking Confederate flag is only gonna know people who have Confederate flags.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Like if I met someone with like a Confederate flag, like proudly hanging somewhere,
right? I'd
be like, well, first of all, I'll be like, why? And then he'll give me his stupid reason, and I'll be like, I can't hang out with you, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. You're probably not the worst person in the world. I'm sure you're okay, I guess.
Yeah.
But I can't hang out with you. I just can't.
That's funny. I went to the beach one time on 4th of July with Brandon Patterson, and he got his whole troop of guys, and they got a big red pickup truck, and they hung the Confederate flag and the American flag.
Oh, yeah, you told me the story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crazy.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was like, what are we doing?
That's funny, man. Oh, shit. Oh, my God.
Well, I think in honor of keeping this an hour, I think I'm going to at least end the episode. But that doesn't mean that we have to stop talking. So I can stop recording, but I don't want to force end our conversation. So thank you, Joe.
I got you.
For being my 5th podcast. I am so excited to share our history together, our work together with my growing audience. So thank you so much, buddy. I will
You're welcome.
Have this uploaded hopefully today. So I'm just gonna at least stop recording, and bada bing,
Okay.
bada boom.